Okay, we're going to focus on adding numbers together now. All right, so when we're going to start adding numbers, let's start with what we're familiar with, and let's start with base 10, because we all know how to add in base 10. And then once we review this, we'll see how do we manipulate that to start adding in base 2. All right, so let's say we have a couple of numbers together. Let's say I have 334 plus 103. Okay, so what are numbers that we do? Okay, we can start with looking at one digit. And let's just add up everything in blue. 4 plus 3, that's 7. All right, then let's do the next digit. Let's do that in green. 3 plus 0, well, that's a 3. And then this last digit, I have 3 plus a 1. All right, that's 4. So we can see how we're going to add. Now let's do something a little bit different. Let's say instead I had 157 plus 147. All right, let's start adding up again. The rightmost digit, well, 7 plus 7. Okay, this is something a little bit different. We didn't see this in the first example. Well, that is 14, so I get a 4. And then I would say, oh, I need to carry that 10s over. Now, when we add up the next part in green, even though I know that the items in blue was 14, I know that I just have an extra 10. So I'm not adding 10, I'm adding like a 1. So it's 5 plus 1 is 6. 6 plus 4, oh, that's 10. So that would give me another item that I carry over. And then I add up 1 plus 1 plus 1. Well, that would give us 3. There'll be no carry that we would need to do. All right, so let's take this idea and let's break it down into pieces. I can do it as 3 different adds that we can be adding up together. You know, I can say, okay, I have this blue add that I need to do. I have this green add that I need to do. Then I got this purple add that I need to add. So I got 3 adds that are happening. From each of these adds, I have some sum that would come out, a sum that would come out, and then another sum. Okay, and then the way I had this add up was I said, okay, the blue had a carry that I can move over. The green could have a carry that I can move over. And that would be how I can add in numbers. So then, you know, here I would say, okay, I'm doing 7 plus 7. But what happened was I got the 4, then I got a 1. Inside here, I was doing 5 plus 4 plus this 1. That produced a 0 and a 1. And then I had a 1 and a 1 with a 1. That would produce my 3. Okay, so we want to think of stuff being in these small little blocks. All right, well, we're going to do the same thing in binary. And in binary, this little adder, we call this an FA. That stands for full adder. And what a full adder is this is going to be our first idea of how we draw a circuit. I'm going to have arrows coming out. These arrows coming out, these are called outputs. The outputs are going to be, I have a sum, and I have a carry out. Then on the top, I'm going to have inputs. I'm going to have an A, I'm going to have a B, and I'm going to have a carry in. And the way we kind of add this up is we say carry in with an A and a B, all 3 added together produce my sum and this carry out. Now, when we start adding this, there's not many options that we have. If we look at this, we can say, okay, this is 3 bits. That's going to give me 8 options on what it is I can add. What are the 8 options that I can add? I can add all zeros together. I can add 2 zeros and a 1. And that could be in, a number of different arrangements. Okay, so these are all the same type of arrangement. I can add 2 ones together. And again, I can do it in different arrangements of how it is those get added. Or I can add 3 ones together. Those are really the options that I have. Okay, if I add 0 plus 0 plus 0, I get a 0 and a carry out of the 0. 0 plus 1 would be 1 and no carry. 1 and no carry. 1 and no carry. 1 and a 1, well, that's 2 plus 0. Well, I only can hold a 0 or a 1. So a 2 is a carry and a sum of 0, a carry and a sum of 0, and then 1 plus 1 plus 1, that's a 3. Well, if we take these items and we kind of look at this, 1, 1 in binary is 3 in decimal. And that's what we wanted to add. 1 plus 1 plus 1, well, that's a 3. Over here, well, what's 1, 0 in binary is a 2 in decimal. Well, 1 plus 1 is 2. All right, so we can see that that's how we would add numbers together. All right, so let's say I'm doing the following that I want to add. Well, how am I going to do these items? I'm going to do them 1 digit at a time. So what's 1 plus 0? And right now this has a carry of a 0, but that's a 1. So next item, I need to add 1 and 1 together. 1 and 1 together is 2, so that's a 0. And then I do a carry. Then I need to add 1 plus 1. Well, that's 2, so that's a 0. And I get a carry. And then the last one, 1 plus 0, 0. Well, that's a 1. All right, let's do one more example. Let's do 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, added with 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0. All right, so let's add these numbers together. All right, let's do orange. 1 plus 1 is 2. Here, let me change this. Let me change that one to a 1. All right. Then we do this group here. 1 plus 1, that's 2. 0 and a 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 0 and a 1. 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. So 1 and a 1. And then 1 plus 1 is 2. 0 and a 1. And then our last one is 1 plus 0, 0. It's a 1. All right, so that's about how we go around doing addition.